Yeah.
We haven't started.
Okay. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We've had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting, the August 9th regular meeting. Anybody have any questions? Is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And under fiscal business, the fiscal officer's report.
Nothing tonight.
Okay. We have had a chance to take a look at the current bills. Anybody have any questions about the current bill? Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we have resolution 4875, a resolution amending permanent appropriations, resolutions with supplemental and reallocation of current appropriations. Anything particular? I mean, I read it.
It's a repeat from before because of the reallocation from zoning fund back into the general. It wasn't something Linda was comfortable with, so we had to redo it, basically.
Okay. Make sure you keep Jeff paid, right?
His pension.
This is very important.
Details.
Is there a motion to approve 4875?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Anything else on the news? Moving on to new business, we do have a couple of lighting assessments here. Anyway, my suggestion was going to be to try to convince you, which they obviously they already have, that we vote on these all at once unless there's something unusual about one of them, and Linda would just put them in the minutes as individual ones.
No, Mr. Wade. We have that figured out as well.
That's what I was trying to get, and just go back and forth.
So your resolution will be 4876 through 4914.
Excellent.
And we will put them all in at one time and say copies of the resolutions, because
That's part of-
gentlemen, you will still get to sign them all individually. Okay.
Okay, is there a motion to, first of all, are there any questions about 4876 through, let's say the number?
4914.
Through 4914, anybody have any questions?
I just want to walk through each one of them real quickly and highlight a
You
few
want
things.
to explain every one of them to us?
So your contract's up, Lynn?
By the time he ends that conversation.
I will make note, there's about 10 still that I have to put together.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve these lighting district assessments?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Moving on to the police district. Anything particular under, I have for us, resolution 4915, authorizing the chief to enter into an addendum and a publication subscription and access agreement of Clear.
Clear's changing their process to an every 4-year on-site assessment as opposed to an every 3-year on-site assessment. The change to our contract with them allows them to assess our annual fee for 4 years between assessments instead of 3 years for assessments. And then the publication subscription is CLIA now uses the Power DMS program for as their exclusive assessment reporting and accreditation reporting. And so we all have to have that now, which we purchased last year, but now it will be the annual fee will be a part of our accreditation fees from CALIA, so it combines that in together.
Okay, very good. Is there a motion to approve 4915 and authorize the chief to sign the agreement? So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yeah.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Then we also have a recommendation, since we've approved that, to pay for it.
Right, they have billed us for our annual continuation fee. It is a little more than last year because of the software being included.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the $4,025 payment to Kalia?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Anything else? Please.
No, sir. That's it.
Yes. Fire district, we have an orientation period recommendation for firefighter paramedic Jason Tudnall. Promotion step from, step one is $19.98 per hour.
That's correct. Jason has successfully completed his probationary orientation period. I'd like to make recommendation that he accepted as a permanent career employee, along with the commensurate pay increase in step one.
Is there a motion to move Jason from a probationary to a permanent employee with the step one payment?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
We're moving him from 1928 to 1998.
Okay.
I know, that was
Yes,
good.
did too.
Oh, did I not ask you? I apologize, Mr. Wade.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, can't do two things at once. Yeah.
Loeb Foundation 2017 grant application recommendation.
Correct. We're anticipating that the annual Loeb grant application window will probably open sometime in September. Trying to get ready for that process. We're requesting permission to apply for this year's grant, up to $25,000 to purchase cash of at least 25 ballistic protective vests and helmets as part of our rescue task force response capability that we don't currently have. I can explain that a little bit further if you're familiar with
Yeah.
why we need that.
Yeah.
Currently
I
don't
think
own
we
it.
probably all.
Yep.
Probably all. Okay, is there a motion to direct the fire department to apply for the Loeb Fund grant application for the items as Chief Secretary has indicated?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Anything else?
Not at this time, sir, thank you.
Zoning department, we have a request to waive a zoning application fee.
Yeah, the Warren County Career Center has been in contact with me over the course of the past year, trying to figure out how to do some new things on their site. Ultimately, each discussion was you're gonna have to come back for a public hearing, you have to come back for a public hearing and the like. And one of the options we talked about is if they rezoned a portion, get my tongue working, some of their property, that up, then to a different classification, then they just go through site plan review with zoning inspector as opposed to all the public hearings. Because out of the conditional use permit process, public hearings occur, and I've had probably a handful minimum with them, and we've had probably 2 to 3 people show up, unless it was something with regards to something very exciting. So there's little turnout, and so we thought if we went the route of rezoning and have it comparable to what the Ladder 5 Points Elementary is, because it went out of residential into an office classification with the PUD, that would be comparable and the like. So put it up to flagpole, see where it goes, but ultimately they would need to do an application, since typically they ask for the conditional use permits to be waived as a application fee. They're asking for this to be waived. So I can answer more, but that's the thumbnail.
Sounds like it's a good idea.
It does eliminate some of the bureaucracy associated with it. It has some good points, bad points, depending on your perspective.
Yeah. Makes sense to me, and I would certainly, we've always waived the fees in the past, no reason to change, in my opinion. Is there a motion to waive the fee for the zoning application?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And then we have resolution 1916, a resolution levying assessment for Ryan Road to recover costs of abating nuisance. And
This is one of 4 that you have this evening that we had to actually mow the grass because the property owner chose not to. So we're just asking for that fee to come back to us.
And can we do 49, 16, 17, 18, and 19? No, we can't. They all the same?
Well, they're all different price and they're all different properties, so I think we're probably gonna have each individual,
Okay.
if I've understood direction from our law director in the past.
Correct.
No, did we mow that, or did we have someone else do it?
They were all mowed by a different entity. The township did not functionally mow them. We had 3 different vendors testing them out. One was very high, one was pretty high and the other one was low. So we used the low one twice, but they were all outside vendors.
So motion to approve 4916.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And 4917, motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. 4918, also a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. 4919, a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And then we have 1920, which is land that has been determined to be a maintenance nuisance. Looks like, now are those all the same?
Well,
I think it's something
4920 and 4921 are repeat offenders for 2016, but I assume we're gonna do those individual, just so that we have that as the record as such. I do have some new ones intermixed, and then I have a unique one to discuss, but.
And these are different than lighting assessments. So, yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay, so a motion to approve 4920.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And a motion to, no, Jeff, anything particular of 4921 you want to point out?
No, it is also a second offender for 2016.
Motion to approve 4921.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And Jarva Lane,
It is actually a repeat offender, but 2016, it skipped, so it's the first time for this year, but it's our annual request for that property to be mowed, so.
the motion to approve 4922.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And 4923 on Pekin Road,
That's a repeat offender for 2016.
motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And 4924 for Woodside Trail.
All right, this one is a unique one. If I could just put you on hold for a moment.
Oh, sure.
This individual is mowing his grass weekly. He is not taking care of his landscaped areas around his house and around the road right of way, so all of his flower beds have weeds 4 to 6 foot tall in them. I've been working with him for the past 2 weeks trying to get him to weed, and he's making very little progress towards that ends. So the neighbors are calling on a regular basis of, it's great that he mows his grass, but his property still is a detriment to the community. So it's the first time we've had the landscaped area needing to be maintained. So I give that to you as the setup. If we were to go in there, I would give him the option as the resolution reads to either pull, cut, or kill with chemical the weeds. As an option, if we were to go through, I would hire someone with a weed eater to knock everything down that meets the qualifications of that height. So,
Okay, I can't remember where Woodside Trail is.
off of Horse Farm, so up on the hill to Horse Farm, just down the street. Really nice neighborhood, really nice
Yeah.
property. I was amazed when I went there that it was, the landscaped area is not the grass that needed assistance.
Is he trying to make a statement out he did?
His comment was that he's been out of town and he's let that go, and he had some time that he was gonna be back in town from traveling and would address it, and it's not been addressed.
But one person's weed is another person's.
No,
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 I
one
mean-
person's weed, when it meets the noxious weed definition of the Ohio Vice Code, is a weed.
Okay,
We're not going in there trying to take out tall elephant grass, saying that that's excessive vegetation. It's truly thistle is the primary, and there's Johnson grass in the area also. So both of those.
I know
are-
people that put out thistle just for the wild canaries, but I
Hold on,
understand.
neighbor.
It's just, you know, it
It's-
just
he-
seems a little
He
much.
did agree that they were weeds, so as part of our discussion, he was aware that he has let it go.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to take further review, put that as something that you guys want to actually visit and come back to, if you're comfortable with where we're at, since it is different than what we typically do.
After you have spoke with him, do you think that in 2 weeks before our next meeting, or 2 weeks in a day as it is, that he might do something?
I think at the current rate of progress, he will still need to be pushed with a letter.
He was, we didn't put him on last agenda.
No, I talked with him
Okay.
at the last agenda.
So you've given him that window.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is the window we've been working, trying to get some progress.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve 49.4?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And we have 49.25.
New for this year, sir.
Is there a motion to approve 49.25 in Tri-States?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Who might own that lot?
That lot is owned by Darren Baldwin. The next lot is owned by Paul Music.
Is there a motion to approve, well, we did that, motion to approve 49.26 also on Tri-States?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we have resolution 49.27 for a nuisance on Benton Hill.
But this one is a unique one. You have the ability to look at the photos. This property, the front of it is mowed. The back of it has a sign that they've turned it into a nature preserve certified by the National Wildlife Federation. Gave them a plaque that showed that they were able to provide food, shelter, water for habitat. The issue with the neighbors is that the habitat that's coming out is of a nuisance to them. It is wildlife that does exist in the township. It happens on everyone's property at one point or another, but the encouragement is where they're having issues of skunks and fox and the like. When we went to the property owner to the west, who was one of the complainants about the site, walked her property and took photos, you can't really see into the backyard, but her claim is that if it's a wildlife preserve and it's not being maintained, by definition, it's gonna be a nuisance because the grasses are gonna be high. I don't know that to be a fact because the foliage that exists in there may actually be stunting growth of lower level things. So this is a unique situation that I'm not sure how to handle, but I want to bring to your attention and see how you guys want it to address.
Okay. Do you think that, not that I'm really questioning these owners, but with that Wildlife Federation plaque, is that something that is official and has teeth to it, that we can't go in there and cut?
The best I've found thus far, it's a nonprofit organization, and they're encouraging people to create habitats wherever they can. And as part of that, when you apply for the plaque, you get a reduction in your membership, you get encouragement of publications and the like, but there's nothing that comes that I have found as a searchable database for the state or for the United States that puts you in there, that people would identify your property as a site that you would go visit or honorable in that regard, comparable to having a historic property. You know, you're not on the same registry thing. So it's a great thing. It may work some places. I'm not sure how it works in a 1 acre minimum lot size subdivision, which you have different expectations of
It's a
use.
subdivision?
Yeah, it's in Woodland Green subdivision. So that becomes the thing. If it was a 5 acre tract next to a farm field that, or a park, you probably would have a different expectation. But to the rear of this property, there is wooded area, so it is a creation of a corridor that goes around the area. So it becomes one of those things that it's probably neighbors having more problems with neighbors than anything else, but we as the government are looking at the issue.
Did they talk to the HOA?
The complainant has put a letter forth to the HOA. They're looking into it with their attorney. But that started in May. We actually went out to the site in May, put a door hanger asking us to talk with us, went back, before the trustee meeting, and the front yard was mowed. It wasn't mowed at that time, so we're like, okay, it looks like things are taken care of, and we'll go on. So we get another complaint. The other complaint came up this previous week. So.
Did they ever call you?
No, I've not made physical contact with that property owner after several attempts.
So how did you end up finding this out?
The designation
Yeah.
is actually facing the property line. So the pictures, when Lori went out to take photos of the
So
site.
the plaque is like a
this
outdoor.
Yeah, it's a display piece that, it's like a road sign, so it's about the size of our,
Yeah, I didn't see these pictures, I apologize.
but there are pictures that do exist in the small packet that's Mr. Cameron had as a add-on.
Well,
This one. You can go to-
Yeah, you can get a sign anywhere, if somebody wants to have a lion refuge, you know.
exactly.
So here are the photos that you guys can choose.
Seemed like they would have that in the bylaws or HOA, that they couldn't have stuff like that.
You think they're waiting on you guys to make a decision, to make it,
No,
so they're gonna have to back
I know
out?
the president of their HOA, he's pretty proactive.
Okay.
I can't imagine that he's not gonna have that too far. No, that's a-
That's, obviously, this has been growing, not just this year.
Yeah, I think it's been an expectation. The front yard actually has more trees planted than what was planted in May. So I think there's a belief that, you know, this is the sanctuary of property. and
They
that's-
think they're legitimately doing a good thing.
And then you think they're gonna try it throughout the entire property, like up front as well?
The front is starting to become more like the back through
Planting more
the
trees.
plantings that occurred over the course of the past couple months. So, I mean, it comes back to, is it something that you believe it's a nuisance? I've not been able to get into the backyard because we've not been able to have physical contact with the property owner. I don't know if that is the expectation of, hey, send them a letter, we believe that it is based upon having a habitat, you probably have this. We can then get in the backyard, clarify it is or it isn't. Maybe that is an avenue to go.
Is the property owner living there?
I don't know for sure. I mean, someone is residing at the site.
Send Christina out.
Yeah.
You don't know, so find something,
Oh, okay, there's
They
another
need
avenue I had
summer.
not considered, so.
Well, I don't think
It's-
I'd be thrilled to death.
I wouldn't.
There.
Not-
That's
not-
it there? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, two nice lots beside it, it's not like these two.
But it goes into the woods, the backyard does?
That's the exterior,
That's
yeah.
what, yeah.
It's, well, I certainly think you need to contact them and let them know that there are being complaints and you're gonna have to, they're gonna have to do something more to convince us that this is not a nuisance.
Okay.
And that's what I feel, you gotta move forward on it.
So just start with a letter and go that route,
think
and
so.
if it does not progress, we will go this route for a declared a nuisance. Sounds good?
And I would reach out to
I mean, take,
their HOA as well.
yeah, I would too.
Mike Mills is on their board, I think he's their president still, and see where Mike's at on it, because I guarantee you he's on top of it.
Will do.
There's no way there's not something in their bylaws that would prevent this. I mean,
Well,
I can't imagine.
you can't, I mean, that's a, in amongst, what are those homes going for now, 350? Yeah.
cool, then if you just want to table that or remove it, however you want to proceed for
Why don't we
the
table it?
process.
Yeah, let's take.
Table it, and if we don't hear anything in 2 weeks, then
All right, is there a motion to table 4927? So moved.
second,
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Okay, thank you.
No more,
That
sir.
should be
I-
interesting.
Yeah.
And here, I thought I wasn't gonna be the longest part of the meeting. I was wrong.
Nice job, Jeff. That's a good one, that's an interesting one to
The road
me.
department's got.
No, sir, but just to let you know, we'll be having ADC concrete up in the Sycamore Trail area sometime this week, cutting curbs. Usually get a few phone calls in or a sprinkler system or two cut. And we're actually gonna start doing the transverse cracks tomorrow with the Duramax machine. So we were scheduled to start today, but we had some issues with the roller and the machine wasn't hot enough. It only gains 2 degrees temperature per hour, and it's gotta be around 120 to 150. It was 90 degrees this morning, so we couldn't even run it today. That's because they told us to set it for 100 over the weekend, and that's what we did. I think he didn't figure we could fabricate the box, and we had it ready, so we kind of surprised him, but should be ready to go tomorrow. We're gonna start up in the Foxdale, up across from B&B area, and work our way back, so.
Did those Kerr people check on 8890 Winton Hills and see if they can get anybody to answer the door?
Do What?
This is there too.
The refuge.
Okay.
Oh, and the guy did tell us today that this material and in his time doing this, that these repairs outlast the road.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he told us. He said if they're done correct, and you seal the water out and they're actually done correct, that the road will need paved before these cracks should appear again. That's what he says. We'll see.
Begs the question why we don't use that material to make the road.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Always wondered those things.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Scott? Okay. Anything under staff updates?
No, sir.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we do have an executive session scheduled, and I'd like to entertain a motion to approve 4928 to recess this meeting and go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw? Mr. Wilson?
Yay. Okay, so we're gonna go to